When he landed the first blow on the White Walker boss, he skillfully blocked my attack, already knowing that I wouldn't defeat him so easily. This elf decided to offer me a deal, claiming that he wouldn't hurt me. First, he decided to ask me why a non-human was protecting all these people. However, I didn't understand what he meant. Then he started laughing strangely and saying that I wasn't aware of everything. He said a voice in our heads that orders us to kill humans but does not listen to it in my presence. I began to wonder about the origin of that voice that orders us to kill. Is it some kind of program instruction? And if this voice does not affect me, maybe it has something to do with me being a player in this system. The elf started to say that there was no need to fight, because after all, we don't want unnecessary casualties. He asked me to give the people behind my back, and he in turn would forgive me. But I also had a question for him: who are they and where do they come from and why are they trying to kill us? But before the elf answered, something strange happened. It seemed like some kind of mental intervention in the elf, and he began to say again that there was no need to fight and have unnecessary casualties. He kept saying the same thing again, that I have to give him the people behind my back, and he in turn would forgive me. I was surprised that he repeated the same thing to me, and I thought that he was just evading my question. But that could be some kind of system intervention. Eventually, I had to answer if I was accepting his offer, but I refused, and then the elf asked me if I will fight him and his numerous army alone. So numerous, I replied. Who said it would only be me? At that moment, my shadow soldiers began to appear behind me, and all the people who were behind me began to wonder about it, and they did not understand what was happening and what monsters appeared everywhere after all. The soldiers of the shadows and even the snow bears of the shadows were everywhere. They were still confused, but seeing that the shadows did not attack them, they already imagined that they were with me. The elf thought it was a cheap trick, but after his words I began to act, and my shadow soldiers began to attack them, and thus everything began in a fierce battle with the White Walkers on one side and my shadow soldiers on the other. The other hunters began to retreat while they were undecided about a battle that was beyond their strength. I watched this battle and realized that he didn't seem to be lying when he called it a cheap trick, despite the numerical advantage that my army couldn't resist. They may be immortal for much longer, but I can't maintain their numbers for long from the time I attacked them. He should have dominated the elves, but the problem was the boss. That problem was enough to know how strong he was. I was, and even if I joined Aegis, it still wouldn't be easy for a common man. The soldier is of no use here, and I need a stronger shadow. The head elf began to say that his name was Baruka, and asked, what was my name? I answered that my name was Jin Wu. I stepped on the captain's sword and started running towards the boss to attack him. This caused the sword to swing towards the unconscious captain. I jumped up to hit this elf, but he successfully dodged my attack. I kept attacking him, and my sword moved from one hand to the other, but the elf still blocked all my attacks, and in the end he kicked me with his foot, sending me flying to the side. I immediately stood up and heard him say that he had not been this excited in a long time. At that moment, his attention was diverted by one of my wizard shadows, who used his magic power to create an explosion that occurred behind him. Thanks to my shadow, I had some time, and now I had to make my plan come true. The captain was starting to come to his senses and stand up. He was reflecting on exactly what had happened. Then he remembered my voice when I hit him, and he got angry. He took his sword and said he was going to kill me. After the explosion, I looked at the fire, and I knew that the elf had not died with that fire attack. I told this elf to stop wasting time and come to me, and with a horrible smile, he started running towards me and telling me that was all my soldiers could do. But I still stood my ground. I had a plan, and at that very moment the captain was running after me from behind with the intention of killing me. The elf realized that he didn't seem to be the only one who wanted my head, but I knew that Captain Kim was predictable, and this could happen, and at that very moment I called my commander-in-chief, and he appeared behind me right at time. The captain was already ready to kill me, and Igris blocked his blow and ended up impaling the captain with his sword. I knew this would happen, The captain was bleeding everywhere, the veteran was very badly injured, and he realized that I had planned everything in advance from the beginning, and eventually the captain started to lose his strength and then died. The elf chief saw the interesting scene and said that it will not change my destiny.